My problem personally is shaming men for having like sexual desires and for having, for wanting to have sex and not giving them the tools to like deal with that appropriately. You can't just run around telling men, oh, keep it in your pants, because that doesn't solve anything.
No.
The drive is still there. How do we use this in a positive way? Well, we use this in a positive way by telling men, okay, well, cool, you have this sexual desire, cool, you have a beautiful partner over here. Here's how we keep that spark going in the bedroom with your wife, with your girlfriend, or whatever. And here's how we create a very sustainable, happy, long-term relationship with the correct dynamic in the bedroom that keeps you as the leader in the family, you as the leader in the bedroom. Primarily, those two things go hand in hand.
Of course.
Right? And you're allowed to be in your masculine polarity, and she can naturally fall into her feminine, submissive polarity. And magically, everyone's happy with that. We seem to have forgotten that.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of flack from Christians online.
Oh, really?
Despite that, if I was to sit down with your average Christian, I'd have more in common with them than an average porn star.
I think, like, even from reading your tweets and everything, you're a very traditional man. Obviously, you had a crazy job prior, but like, that's just everyone has a past. Not even a bad thing. I think you're very traditional, masculine. From what I've seen,
I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm some virtue of Christian morality. I'm not.
Jehovah's Witness over here.
But I'm at least honest about it.
Yeah.
Okay, but the problem I at least see amongst Christian men is that they've been shamed for their sexual desires and they don't have a way of channeling it positively. And so what ends up happening is especially in the West now, we have this really bad dynamic between men and women where women are becoming more masculine and men are becoming more feminized. Well, how do we revert that back to its natural way of being? And I think the bedroom is a great way of doing that.
Wow.
Because it's the last place men are allowed to be men.
Yeah.
You can actually be a man.
Yeah.
You can have a pair of balls, be a passionate guy, and women respond incredibly well to it, and they love it. They want that. And lo and behold, when you flip the dynamic on its head, you get things back in the bedroom working the correct way, the correct polarities. Magically, oh, now she's not nagging.
Yes.
Now she wants to cook and clean for you again. I've literally had like hundreds of men write exactly this to me. Like, oh, I started being more passionate and leading and being more dominant in the bedroom, and now the relationship is back. It's fixed.
It's so funny how we're animals, and it comes back to animalistic, simple behavior. So how important do you think sex is in a relationship? People say communication, chemistry, banter. Where do you think sex falls on that ranking? I think it's
got to be in the top 2 or 3.
Yeah. Honestly, me and Linda, we go, hey, if we didn't have sex, we'd just be friends. It's like you just be like one of the boys. Like that's it.
You know what? That's a really good point, because I think a big problem that a lot of guys run into with a long-term relationship is what you would call the Madonna-Whore complex. So men lust after the whore, but they want the Madonna to be the mother of their kids.
Yeah.
To be their wife, to be their partner. And there's a point at the start of every relationship, there's the honeymoon period, right? And let's be honest, during the honeymoon period, like the sex is amazing, it's passionate, but you are probably viewing her more and not trying to be degrading to anyone, but you're probably viewing her more in the whore mentality. You're viewing her as like a sexual object, right? Than you are viewing her as the Madonna.
Yeah.
And then as time goes by and you learn more about your partner, you love her more, you respect her more, now she becomes less of a sexual object and she becomes more of a friend. She becomes more of a companion, a partner. Okay, well that's fantastic, but we still want the passion. And when the passion dies, the relationship starts to die a little bit.
Yes.
So the problem that guys have is they have to try and find a balance here. I think it's natural for things to lean towards slide more towards the companionship side of things and the passion to die off. So you have to be, as a man, you have to practically find ways to keep that spark there. It's actually about keeping it in your own head.
Yeah, holding frame, I believe is a term people use.
Yeah.
So how do you keep a relationship passionate and fiery?
You have to be able to kind of see her as a sexual object again.
Yeah.
and realize it's not a derogatory thing.
Yeah, oh, that's a compliment. You know, like it's people say they hear the word object or sexual, and they're like, "Oh, you're such a man." It's like it's a compliment.
Yeah, women view men as success objects, and men view women as sex objects.
Yeah,
this has been known for quite a long time,
thousands of years. Yeah,
right? And it's only now that we're like, "Oh, that's misogynist."
Yeah,
no, it's a compliment. It's not. You're not literally calling you an object.
Yeah,
but you are. The reason that men and women interact with each other is because men want sex.
Yeah, exactly.
This is it's who we are. It's biology. It's primal. So, okay, how can a guy kind of try to keep that in his mind? He has to kind of partition his brain a little bit between like, this is my partner and then this is my lover. I personally try to borrow a lot of stuff from like BDSM, Dom, sub dynamics, personally. If you can start to implement the masculine, feminine polarity again in the bedroom, the primal like lust stuff in a man, I think starts to come out a bit more naturally. When he's like leading and in control and she's naturally being more submissive, that kind of inspires lust in men quite a lot. If you have a woman who's like literally begging for your cock, like things like that, like it's pretty hard for you to not get aroused.
Exactly.
When she's being so much in her feminine. And how do you do that? Well, you have to be more in your masculine.